Malliotakis for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here today. As a New Yorker, I'm especially happy to welcome Mr. Arbini here to tell his story. I think we can learn a lot from you and expose the decisions that were made by the Cuomo Hochul administration that ultimately led to over 17,000 of our seniors dying, and unfortunately, your father, and my condolences for that. I just want to talk about the timeline because on March 13, 2020, CDC and CMS released guidance stressing that a COVID-19 positive nursing home resident must be quarantined and properly treated. The guidance directly forbids nursing homes from accepting patients they were unable to properly treat. Then on March 15th, in a phone call between Jared Kushner and Governor Cuomo, Cuomo allegedly said, for nursing homes, this could be like fire through dry grass. He admitted that. And March 19th, the Society of Post-Acute and Long-Term Care Medicine warned admitting patients with suspected or documented COVID-19 infection represents a clear and present danger to all the residents of a nursing home. So it was very clear, very well known to everyone, that the elderly were the most vulnerable to COVID and that putting positive patients in the nursing home just lacked common sense. On March 24th, it was during his daily press briefing, and it was very famous, this video clip where he said, my mother is not expendable and your mother is not expendable. And yet the very next day is when he put out that directive, that lethal directive that mandated nursing homes, regardless of their ability to provide care, to accept the COVID-19 positive patients discharged from hospitals. And that directive prohibited the nursing homes from even testing the patients prior to admittance. And to boot, the state didn't even provide the PPE to help the nursing homes. And like you said, you were delivering PPE, so was I, going to the nursing homes to try to help them because they were forced to do this without any help from the Cuomo administration. And it was directly against the CDC and CMS guidance and common sense. Now, this is the interesting thing. Even after the governor set up and the president sent in the USS Comfort ship, the DOD set up the Javits Center on Staten Island. We had the South Beach Psych Center. Even after there were alternatives that were not full, right, hardly used really, the governor kept this mandate and kept requiring that nursing homes take back. Why do you think that is? Yes, Mr. I would look. Why do you think even after there were alternatives that he continued to put those positive patients in nursing homes?
It's dumbfounding to me, and the way I'd like to answer it is I could guess, but what I'd like to do is point out some facts. On March 19th, he started working with book publishers on his book, our former governor, and 4 months later, he all of a sudden has a book and a book deal, and he's lying about all the numbers. He called the president at the time, President Trump, and asked for help. President Trump set up in less than 10 days, 3,000, almost 3,000 beds, no, 2,000 beds at the Javits Center. They mobilized. And 5 days after March 25th-ish, they all are open. We did a FOIL request and found out on April 7th, the Vice Admiral in charge of those facilities was emailing the executive chamber and saying, we have nobody here, please send us. And you see the chain of emails, they're getting the runaround. I can only guess that our governor, who then purposely made sure no one could use the Javits Center or the USS Comfort because he layered admission policies on top of that, didn't want to do it because it might make president look good or it might help New Yorkers. I can't understand how you could not do it.
Now, I think we should also look into whether nursing homes got higher reimbursements than if he had the state gotten more money putting people in nursing homes or hospitals versus these alternative sites. That's something that should be looked at. But one question, you mentioned your father was in the nursing home from when? When did he start being in the nursing home?
I don't remember the exact date for the last one, but I think it was around March 25th, plus or minus a couple.
March 25th, so it was before the directive.
Yeah, I think it was, sorry, it was a week before?
So he was in the nursing home a week prior to the directive happens, and you're saying in April is when your father was positive and passed away. And at that time, there were these alternatives set up.
Correct.
So you believe if the Cuomo decided to put these individuals in the alternatives instead of the nursing home, your father could still be alive today?
So the answer is absolutely. I'm sure staff brought the virus in. No one could say no to that. But putting 9,000 COVID-positive patients into the nursing homes is nothing short of a death sentence for my dad and the other tens of thousands, 15,000 people.
Well, again, my condolences, and I've run out of time, but thank you for being here.
Thank you. Sorry for going over.